Hi there everybody and welcome along to the Big Quiz 19. We're back. It's a brand new year, brand new series of the show. Hope you're all doing well and thank you all for joining me this evening. Let's have a look who we've got in the chat then today. Hello to Jew and the gang, welcome along. We've got Vernia here as well, nice to see you all. Who else have we got then? Let's see. Chris says hello from a wet and windy Blackpool. We've got Millie here as well, good evening, hope you're all doing good. We've got Gabby, Pinky and the Brain are here, and the Donuts, I believe, and Catherine and Tony are here as well. Glad you could all be here. We've got a jam-packed show this evening. We're pretty much back to normal. We've got a little bit of everything, and it is our big quiz night in of the year for 2022. So let's we'll get straight on into it, but it's lovely to see another nice turnout. Some of you missed the Christmas special back in December. I did come back for a one-off just before Christmas. We had a good time. The show is uploaded, of course. If you wanted to see it, you could still go back and watch it, but it was great fun, and thank you all for those who could be there. But now we're into a brand new year, a brand new series, a brand new look. Do you like it? I've been working hard on this. You're going to see lots of different things as we go through the show. One thing I am just going to do is I'm going to move that there. There we go. That's better. Just so I can get a better view of all your lovely comments. So yeah, Pete says hello as well in the chat, and it's a really lovely turnout we've got this evening. So thank you all for being here. Let's go to our first section of the evening then. As you may remember from last year, we got into the habit of inviting Abby onto the show to ask a question to kick the show off. Tonight and from now on, it's going to be a little bit different. We're either going to have Abby on her own, we're going to have my son Rue on her own, or we're going to have them both. And it'll be a mystery right up until I press the button I'm about to press as to which one or who or both you'll get to kick off the show every week from now on. So let's find out, shall we? There we go, everybody. It's both of them. Well, welcome to the show, children. Right, so we have got a question, and the answers are going to be on the screen for this one. It's going to be multiple choice. Abby's going to read out the question. Ruben's going to read out your multiple choice options, and then we'll see who can guess in the comments what the answer is. Only this question I want you to guess in the comments for now. The rest of them are pretty much not like that. If you are one of the first three to get it correct, then you will win yourself a bonus point for your team that you can add on to your total for any of the upcoming quiz rounds that you like. Okay, so here we go then with the question and the answers. As soon as Ruben's read out all the answers, then you can jump in the comments and have a guess. I think this is pretty easy for some. Let's see.
No, it's Abby reads all the questions.
Go on, Abby.
According to the Disney movie Encanto, who do we not talk about? A. Mirabelle, B. Isabella, C. Bruno, or D. Pico?
Pico, yes, okay, all right. Okay, does that mean you're going to say what the answer is when they show? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay. So let's see then. Let's see what people are saying in the comments. It's probably easier for you guys to read it over on this screen. Let's go down. All right, so we have got lots of people saying C. I wonder if that's going to be the real answer. We've got Junior, we've got Ed, Gabby, Sue, Chris is saying C, Catherine's saying C. I think it's a bit too easy for these guys. What do we reckon, guys? Should we show the answer? Yeah? All right, so the answer is... We don't talk about... Bruno! There it is. Well done. Looks like everybody got it right, but let's see who got it right the fastest then in the comments. So this is based on our view of the comments. Your view may be different. Remember this. It's based on our view of the comments, okay? So the first person, Abby, why didn't you say this first person? This is...
June.
Yeah, Jew, you've got it right. So Britzillions, you can have a bonus point. And the next person, can you read this one, Ruben?
The next person is Ed.
Ed, well done. That's Back in Black. You get yourself a bonus point. And the third one, Abby, do you want to say this one?
Gabby.
Yes, that's Gabby. So Pinky and the Brain, you are the top three. There's Pikachu. You guys get a bonus point, and that is Abby and Rue's question for this evening. Thank you all, and well done to those who have got bonus points there. Everybody got it right though, so you'll get a pat on the back, but only the first three get a bonus point. Brilliant. There we go. Everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Say bye-bye.
See you next time.
They will see you next time. Wow, there we go. That's the first one, first Abby and Rue question of the evening and the first one of the series. Thank you all for having a go at that one. Great stuff. Right, so now we're going to get into our full-on quiz rounds. Let's just go with the comments first, though. Catherine says we had to guess. We had no idea. Thanks, Abby and Rue. That's fine. It's just for fun. And Vernia says, yay, thank you, Abby and Rue. And Millie says, thanks, Abby and Rue, as well. I'm just going to make them shut the door because I did ask them to. Hold on a moment. Yeah, I think they've just walked off and forgotten. Never mind, it's fine. I'm sure somebody will close it later. Right, so the rounds we've got this evening then, they're on along the bottom of the screen now. I hope you can see them all. I'm just going to adjust things over here. It might be... I'm not sure if you can or not. Can you let me know in the comments? Because some screens here are frozen and some haven't. Let me know in the comments, please, if you can see what's going on here, because the subject should be along the bottom of the screen, okay? But the first one is going to be a news round. So all the subjects are about things that happened in 2022. We've got news, we've got entertainment, sport, and then we're going into our game shows round. It's all good. Thank you, Jude. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, along the bottom of the screen, you should be able to see the different subjects. So I'm just going to refresh something else so I can make sure that you're seeing the right things that I can see as well. There we go. Right, it's caught up now. Good. So we're going to do news first. 15 questions, 1 point for each correct answer, unless otherwise stated. Everything will be connected to things that made the headlines last year at some point. And let's see how you go. Keep your answers to yourself, and then you can mark your own answers as well once we get to the end of the round, because I will tell you what the answers are, and then you can put your team scores in the comments. Yeah, okay. Just getting the door shut. There we go. Right. So here we go then, guys. 15 questions. Question number 1. Which vegetable had a lifespan that lasted longer than Liz Truss as Prime Minister? Question number 1. Which vegetable had a lifespan that lasted longer than Liz Truss as Prime Minister? The next thing, whilst you're working on all those, of course, we do have some pictures. That's what all this space here is for. So your pictures tonight will be a Dingbats themed round, okay? So there we go. There's your first 2 Dingbats. Basically, a Dingbat, for those who don't know, is a graphical clue or a cryptic graphical clue for a common phrase or thing, okay? So it's a bit of a puzzle, something to think about. Once you get one, I'm sure you'll get the hang of it, for those who don't know. If you're familiar with my quizzes in the pub, you'll definitely be familiar with some of these, but hopefully not exactly these ones. So yeah, you get 1 point for each of those. There's 2 there. See how you get on with those, okay? For each of those, sorry, got to point the right way. Okay, so question 1 was about the vegetable that had a lifespan lasting longer than Liz Truss. Question 2, what did Just Stop Oil activists throw at a Van Gogh painting last year? What did Just Stop Oil activists throw at a Van Gogh painting last year? Right. Question number 3. Which of Queen Elizabeth II Jubilees was celebrated last year? Which of Queen Elizabeth II's Jubilees was celebrated last year? I'm after the kind of Jubilee it was, so the name given to it, and the amount of years that equals to. All right? So there's 2 points available there. 1 point for the kind of Jubilee it was, and then for how many years that name is given to. Which of Queen Elizabeth II's jubilees was celebrated last year? Okay, so your next question then. Question number 4. Which billionaire bought Twitter? Which billionaire bought Twitter? And still, of course, had plenty of money to spare by all accounts. Which billionaire bought Twitter? That is question 4. Oh, right, we've got a comment here, but I can't quite read it. Let's just adjust this a bit, shall we? Let me just adjust that box. I'm still getting used to how I line all this up, you see. There's a bit of some teething problems are expected. Tracy's here. She says, "Hi Chris, just 2 of us are back after a long break because I'm still doing boot camp on Tuesdays. We're not having tea now, so I might not add many comments, but we're playing along. Hope you and the family are all well." That's lovely. I'm really pleased you're here. Thank you. Yes, we're doing good, thank you. Loving the new home and being able to do things in this new office space that I've got here. Lovingly painted by my wife. And this as well. Amazing. I love this light so much. Right, question number 5 now. This one is for 3 points. How many prime ministers did the UK have throughout 2022? It's got to be some kind of record. How many prime ministers did the UK have throughout 2022? You don't have to name them, but how many did we have? Hopefully you could name them if you needed to. But just for 1 point, how many did we have? Okay, question number 6. This is a fun one. Which name became officially extinct in 2022, according to the Office of National Statistics, leading to people called that name from all over the world gathering at a Worcestershire pub for a festival in their name's honour? I'll give you multiple choice, because otherwise it'd be really tricky if you didn't hear this story. Multiple choice is Boris, Nigel, or Colin. So it basically means a name going extinct means that no new babies have been born that have been called that name for long enough for it to now be considered a name that's extinct. And so everyone that's still alive, or lots of people that are still alive that were called that name, came back together from all over the world to one pub and celebrated and just basically got drunk by all accounts. Because why not? But what was that name that's gone extinct that led to that festival? Is it Boris, Nigel, or Colin? Choose one. Christmas tunes in the background still? Oh man, how'd that happen? That's not right. I knew there'd be something going on. There we go. That might have stopped it. I forgot I changed it to that. I was supposed to be something else. See, I told you it'd be teething problems. Even when you think of everything, you haven't. Right, I'm going to have to do that for every page now. Question 7. Which morning TV presenters were criticised for queue jumping when they went to pay their respects to Queen Elizabeth II prior to her funeral? Which morning TV presenters were criticised for queue jumping when they went to pay their respects to Queen Elizabeth II prior to her funeral? Yeah, all those Christmassy tunes, that was from the Christmas specials I did 2 years ago, and I used it again last year. And so I just kept it because it's a nice mix of Christmas songs that I won't get into trouble for playing for copyright reasons. So yeah, that's why that was put together. But yeah, it is a lovely mix actually, in fairness. I do like it. But yeah, that's what that was. Okay, so that was for 2 points, number 7. Okay, 1 point for each presenter. I'm sure if you've got one, you'll get the other. Question 8, along the same lines, which former footballer made the headlines for not queue jumping to pay their respects to Queen Elizabeth II at the same time? Which former footballer made the headlines for not queue jumping to pay their respects to Queen Elizabeth II? So that's question 8. Okay then, let's go on now to question number 9. I'm going to give you multiple choice for question 9 as well. A village in Scotland had its sign stolen so many times last year that a tamper-proof one was erected instead to prevent it happening again. But what is the name of the village? Is it Netherwallop, Lower Swell, or Cockbridge? A village in Scotland had its sign stolen so many times that a tamper-proof one was erected to prevent it happening again. What is the name of this village in Scotland? Is it Netherwallop, Lower Swell, or Cockbridge? Yes, I laughed a lot writing that question for you. I hope you appreciate it. All three of those, by the way, are real place names in the UK, but only one is obviously the answer I'm looking for. But they're all real place names that you could visit, I promise you. Okay, question number 10 now. Question 10. Which political figure launched a collection of poorly photoshopped NFTs that could be purchased for $99 each? NFT, by the way, is a non-fungible token. It's basically a unique image that you could pay for and download, and it would be yours, and nobody else would have exactly that image. That's basically what he was selling. There's a lot more to it than that, but in a nutshell. Which political figure launched a collection of poorly photoshopped NFTs that could be purchased for $99 each? When you find out the answer to this, if you didn't know already, be sure to Google it and have a laugh at what they look like, because they are hilarious. They weren't supposed to be, I don't think, but they are. And let me know in the comments if you know what I'm on about and if you've seen them already, because, yeah, it's well worth it. Okay, so name the political figure then for question number 10. Question 11 now. Question 11. In January, British Army officer Preet Chandy became the first woman of colour to complete which endurance skiing challenge? In January, British Army officer Preet Chandy became the first woman of colour to complete which endurance skiing challenge? What did she complete? Right, let's move on. You will get a little bit of thinking time at the end of the round, of course. Let me know if you need any repeated. Regulars will know that I can repeat questions for you if I've gone through this too quickly. Happy to repeat anything. We'll do that at the end of that 15th question, though. Okay, question 12, another feel-good story for question 12. Britain's longest married couple celebrated which wedding anniversary in 2022? Was it their 61st, their 71st, or their 81st wedding anniversary? Britain's longest married couple celebrated which wedding anniversary in 2022, so last year? Was it their 61st, 71st, or 81st? So another multiple choice one for you there. And now we move on to question 13. So question 13, what was the name of the space telescope that started sending images back to Earth throughout last year? What was the name of the space telescope that started sending images back to Earth throughout last year? And again, this is another one. If you didn't know about this, when you hear the answer, at some point, take time to look up the pictures that it's been sending back, because they're some of the most detailed, incredible images that you'll have ever seen when it comes to space, because it's obviously brand new technology up there. Amazing stuff. What was the name of that space telescope? Question 14 now. Question 14. Veronica Ryan, 66, originally from Montserrat in the Caribbean, became the oldest winner of which annual prize last year? You'll get multiple choice here again, but I'll say the question once more, and then I'll give you your choices. Veronica Ryan, 66, originally from Montserrat in the Caribbean, became the oldest winner of which annual prize last year? Was it the Turner Prize, the Booker Prize, or a Nobel Prize? Choose one. Veronica Ryan, who's 66 years old, originally from Montserrat in the Caribbean, became the oldest winner of which annual prize last year? Turner, Booker, or Nobel? Okay. And your final question then? Question 15. The UK saw its hottest temperatures ever recorded in 2022, but what was the new record in degrees C? The UK saw its hottest temperatures ever recorded in 2022. What was the new record in centigrade, please, of course? It is technically point something, but it's the whole number I want, not the bit after the points, okay? I mean, if you did know that, then fair play. But the whole number, degree, rounded to the nearest one, shall we say. Let's see how well you do with this then. So, do any of you need a question repeated? I can do that for you now as always. If not, we'll go through the answers. Whilst you take your time to think about that, I'd like to remind everybody watching that in the description of this video, as with every video, is a link to my Beacon page, and on that is a whole list of different things you can go to support what I do here on Big Quiz Night In. That includes Patreon, where you can have a quiz night, private quiz night with myself and the other Patreon members. For as little as £2 a month. If you're interested in joining in, that's the last Tuesday of every month we do that. So there won't be a Facebook Live one on the last Tuesday of every month because we do that. Many of you watching already are, and thank you all for your support. I'm really looking forward to that first one and bringing back a lot of the games that we like to play. If you like the game show round at the end of tonight's quiz, on both of them in fact, because there's going to be two different ones, then you will love what we do on the Patreon quiz nights. Okay, a question to be repeated then is the telescope one, please. Oh, my wife is watching. Oh, I love you guys. I didn't realise you were. Okay, let's see. The telescope question was question 13. What was the name of the space telescope that started sending images back to Earth throughout last year? It was named after someone. A bit of a clue there. It was named after someone. So yes, what was it? Does anybody else need a repeat? If not, we'll go through the answers. Remember that the dingbats on the side of the screen there, you need to have a guess at those as well. What are they cryptic clues for? Okay, let's go through the answers then. No more repeats have been asked for. So, question 1. Which vegetable had a lifespan that lasted longer than Liz Truss as Prime Minister? It was a lettuce. Question 2. It's such a British silly thing, isn't it? Question 2. What did Just Stop Oil activists throw at a Van Gogh painting? It was cans of soup. They threw cans of soup at the painting. And the painting itself was, of course, unharmed because they're protected, of course. So it was completely pointless, but they did it anyway. Question 3. Which of Queen Elizabeth II's jubilees was celebrated last year? It was the Platinum Jubilee, which was 70 years. An incredible feat, an amazing achievement. Question 4. Which billionaire bought Twitter? That was, of course, Elon Musk for, I think it was $44 billion, I think, in the end. Question 5. How many Prime Ministers did the UK have throughout 2022? We had 3. There was, of course, Boris, Liz Truss, who we already mentioned, and Rishi Sunak, the current one. Question 6. The name that's officially become extinct was Nigel. It led to 372 Nigels from all over the world descending on that Worcestershire pub for their own little festival. 372 people plus partners and or family as well. So it was quite a turnout, but that pub was well happy. all to celebrate Nigels. There you go. So if you know a Nigel, let them know they're extinct or they're a rare breed. Question number 7. Which morning TV presenters were criticised for queue jumping when they went to pay their respects to the Queen? It was Phil and Holly. So Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby, 1 point for each. Question 8. The former footballer that made the headlines for not queue jumping was David Beckham. And everybody loved him for that, and then was not particularly happy with him for something else, which we might move on to in a bit. Question 9. A village in Scotland had its sign stolen so many times that a tamper-proof one was erected, but what was the name of the village? Was it Netherwallop, Lower Swell, or Cockbridge? It was Cockbridge. Lower Swell is in Gloucestershire and Netherwallop is in Hampshire, if you fancied a visit, but Cockbridge is the location. Question 10. Which political figure launched a collection of poorly photoshopped NFTs? That was Donald Trump. Sold them all for $99 each, and I think he's going to have to pay it all back because there are lots of them where he breached copyright to create them, even though they were supposed to be unique to him. I believe that's the case. Question 11. In January, the British Army officer Preet Chandy became the first woman of colour to complete which endurance skiing challenge? She skied solo to the South Pole. Incredible feat. 700 miles in 40 days at temperatures of up to minus 50 degrees centigrade. It's absolute madness. But yeah, that's what she did. So skied to the South Pole is the answer you needed for that one. Question 12. The longest married British couple celebrated their 81st wedding anniversary. They got married in 1941. Married 81 years. Amazing. Question 13. The telescope that started sending images back to Earth last year was called the James Webb Space Telescope. Question 14. Veronica Ryan won the Turner Prize. She won for her Windrush Memorial artwork. So she won the Turner Prize. One of the reasons she's the oldest is because it was only up until 2016, I think, that nobody over 50 was eligible to win the Turner Prize for some reason. I don't know. So, of course, since then it's changed, and now older artists are eligible again, or for the first time. And now, Veronica at 66 years old has become the oldest. There you go. And finally, question 15. The UK saw its hottest temperatures ever recorded last year, but what was the new record? It was 40.3 degrees. So as long as you put 40, you can give yourself a point for that one. It was a hot one indeed, wasn't it? For those who live here, at least, yeah. Not good. All right, so there's the answers. Let me know then. Should have been Nigel Telescope, Andy says. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that would have been a nice way to honour it. Maybe they'll do that for a future telescope. That would have been good because there was the rocket launch that happened today in the UK, the first one. It didn't work, unfortunately. They should have called that one Nigel. It'd be in a British organised festival. That would have been very funny. And a very British thing to have done as well. Yeah. Tally up your scores then. The answers for the pictures are Trafalgar Square for the first one and Death Valley for the second one. So 2 bonus points there. Let me know in the comments how many points you guys have all got. We'll celebrate with those who do well. We'll commiserate with those who didn't do so well. But as I always like to say, it is just for fun. And we're all here just to have a laugh, really. Always keen to see how well you did in this quiz round. And then we'll move on to our entertainment round of 2022 very shortly. So let's see how you did. Whilst you're all putting the answers in the comments there, if you're not already aware of it, I am posting more quizzes on TikTok lately. So I'm doing 3 questions per TikTok video. So if you're on TikTok, you can follow me at Big Quiz Night In there as well, and you can go back and see all the hundreds of other ones I posted if you're really bored one day, and you can request to them as well on my TikTok page too. So yeah, that's all there for you if you are interested. Right, so let me go through the scores then, because some of them are starting to come in now. Right, so Diva says 15 plus 2, very good score. 14 plus 2 equals 16 for Back in Black. Well done, Andy and Back in Black. Tracy says just the two of us scored 13 and both bonus points for a total of 15. Excellent work. The Donuts, Sue says, have got 16 points. Luke has also got 16 points. Luke and Jane there, that's 14 plus 2 for them. 14 plus 2 for the Not So Golden Oldies as well. Oh, Chrissy's showing off. My wife has got all of them. Of course you have, darling. Excellent work. Must get you down to my real pub quiz one night, I think. I think you would smash it. Gabby says Pinky in the Brain got 15 plus 1 for the pictures as well. Very good. And 15 plus 2 for the Britzillions. Another good score. Wow, you guys are really paying attention to what happened last year. These are, I don't know how this has happened. These are better scores than what I think we got in the pub when I hosted similar subjects a few weeks back. And some of you were even at those quizzes and didn't score as well. And these are different questions. Good effort, everybody. Well done. Right, let's move on to round number 2. Okay, and round number 2, let's bring up the pictures. 2 more dingbats for you there, and we are on now to entertainment. So, same thing again, you're going to have 15 questions, this time all about entertainment specifically. Let's see how you do with this one then. Multiple points available for some of these questions as well. Here we go with question number 1. What was the subtitle of the long-awaited Top Gun sequel? What was the subtitle of the long-awaited Top Gun sequel? I don't know if you guys have seen it. We went to see it at one of the IMAX cinemas, and it was phenomenal. Yeah, loved it. It's basically Star Wars with jets instead of spaceships, but it's still brilliant. Maybe that's why I loved it so much. I don't know. Very similar in some respects, but a good fun movie. If you saw it, let me know your thoughts. Don't give away the answer though, of course. Question 2. Which TV soap came to an end last year only to be revived months later by Amazon? Which TV soap came to an end last year only to be revived months later by Amazon? Can't imagine watching a TV soap on Amazon. I mean, I don't watch soaps anyway, but the concept of watching a soap on Amazon just seems very strange. Watch shows in general, sure, but I don't know, just seems very odd. Okay, question number 3 then. This one is for 2 points. Which countries came in first and second at Eurovision 2022? Which countries came in first and second at Eurovision 2022? Two points for that one then. Okay, next question. Your next question then is, who slapped whom at the 2022 Oscars ceremony? Another massive story in entertainment. Who slapped whom at the 2022 Oscars ceremony? 1 point for each correct answer, of course. Okay. Question number 5 now. Question 5. Which British city was announced to be the host of Eurovision 2023 since it can't be held in the winner's country? Which British city was announced to be the host of Eurovision 2023 since it can't be held in the winner's country? Name the city for that one. Which British city? Okay, question 6 now. Question number 6. Which two Hollywood celebrities went through a defamation trial last year? I know Chrissy's going to get this one because we were hooked on the footage through TikTok and all the breakdowns and all sorts. It was it was gripping and hilarious. Which two Hollywood celebrities went through a defamation trial last year? Martin's just commented. Evening, Chris and everyone. Very sorry going to miss the quiz tonight. Normal service resume next week. Have fun, everyone. Hashtag can I have a pee, please, Chris? Oh, that's a shame. I'm gonna have to message you and make sure you catch up on some of this because I know there's some jokes and funny things we'll talk about in here that you might find amusing. Or maybe I'll just remind them of you next time. We'll see. But appreciate the comment. Let's just make sure I'm not missing any others because the comments box isn't what it once was in terms of the layout I use now. Okay, next question then is number 7. What was the name given to the ABBA virtual concert launched last year? I'll give you multiple choice for this one as well. There's lots of multiple choice questions tonight. Maybe I'm being too easy on you. Was it ABBA Journey, ABBA History, or ABBA Voyage? 1 point for each. Sorry, not 1 point for each. For 1 point. What was the name given to the ABBA virtual concert that was launched last year? I say virtual because they basically used holographic technology to recreate the members of ABBA and perform on stage as they were in their youth. It was very clever from what I saw of it, footage-wise. I'm sure it looked great when you were there, but yeah, bit strange as well. But still, what was it called? ABBA Journey, History, or Voyage? Question number 8 now. Question 8. Which singer headlined Glastonbury as the festival made its long-awaited return last year? Which singer headlined Glastonbury as the festival made its long-awaited return last year? Okay, so about halfway through the round now. We're moving on to question number 9 now. Question 9. The 2022 Disney Pixar movie Turning Red is about a girl who transforms into which animal? The 2022 Disney Pixar movie Turning Red is about a girl who transforms into which animal? Okay, question number 10 now. Question 10. Which song by which artist recharted at the UK #1 spot thanks to its use in the Netflix series Stranger Things? Which song by which artist recharted at the UK #1 spot thanks to its use in the Netflix series Stranger Things? Diva says Turning Red was one of my favourite films of 2022. Yeah, we loved it as well. The Christmas music's playing again, isn't it? I'm tempted just to leave it on because you all seem to be enjoying it. It's beyond the 12th day of Christmas now, though, so we shouldn't really be talking about it. Although, along the subject of things we shouldn't be talking about, other than Bruno from the first question, we don't talk about him either. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I think at the very start of January, I saw... In fact, it may not have even been... It may have been at the end of December, in the shop very near to where we live now, there was Easter chocolate there. Yeah, it wasn't even January. Christmas had finished. It was that weird time period between Christmas and New Year's where nobody really knows what day it is or what they're supposed to be doing. And there was Easter chocolate in the shop. Not even the New Year yet. Alright, okay, there we go. Christmas music is gone. Bar humbug. But yes, we loved Turning Red. We loved it too. Well, I'm sure I speak for the family when I say that. I'm sure I enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure they did too. Yeah, we watched it on Disney Plus. Okay, right, your next question then. Which of the following was the name of a Michael Bay movie from 2022 starring Jake Gyllenhaal? Was it Fire Truck, Police Car, or Ambulance? Which of the following was the name of a Michael Bay movie from 2022 starring Jake Gyllenhaal? Was it Fire Truck, Police Car, or Ambulance? Same. Yeah, Chrissy says same. This particular Michael Bay movie is well worth a watch as well. If you like your thrillers. Good movie. But which one of those three was it called? Question 12 now. Which actor did Jodie Whittaker's Doctor regenerate into, and who is due to replace that person as the new Doctor after the 60th anniversary special series this year? So which actor did Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor from Doctor Who, just to be absolutely clear to people who don't watch it, who did she regenerate into, and who is that person going to regenerate into following the 60th anniversary specials due this year? Very interesting, exciting times for Doctor Who fans. It's not just Mummy, Daddy. Okay, the kids are watching still as well. They should be in bed, but of course they're not. It's fine. It's fine. If Mummy says it's fine, it's fine. Okay. So yes, that one's for 2 points then. The two Doctor actors, 1 point for each. Question 13 now. Which 3 live-action shows from Lucasfilm premiered on Disney Plus in 2022? Which 3 live-action shows from Lucasfilm premiered on Disney Plus in 2022? Of course, if you know me, all of which of these are brilliant. Maybe I'm just too easily pleased with this kind of content, but I just love them. Love them. 1 point for each, though. Question 14 now. Who played Batman, Alfred, and Penguin in 2022's The Batman? Who played Batman, Alfred, and Penguin in 2022's The Batman? That one we haven't seen yet. We've got it lined up to watch, but we haven't watched it yet. We have a love-hate relationship with DC stuff at the minute, thanks to Warner Brothers. Not a big fan right now, but in fairness, that particular film does look and apparently is pretty good. So, we'll see. But who played Batman, Alfred, and Penguin in that movie, The Batman? Okay, next question then, and of course you'll get a little bit of thinking time. Question 15. Placing hip-hop front and centre for the first time at the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show, it featured which 5 acts that joined Dr. Dre for the performance? Placing hip-hop front and centre for the first time at the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show, it featured 5 acts that joined Dr. Dre for the performance. Name them for 1 point each. Was a great show, in fairness. I'm not normally fussed about it in the slightest, but because it was what it was, I was pretty interested to see it, and yeah, it was quite impressive. So yeah, there we go. That's the end of the round. You've got a little bit of thinking time. There's a few multiple point questions there, granted. So let me know if you need any questions repeated, which will in turn give everybody a bit more thinking time as well with those questions. I'll go through the answers. We'll see what your team scores are, and then we'll move on to the sport round, which is next up. Okay, the sport round for 2022. And then we've got those all-important game show rounds at the end of the evening, which I hope you appreciate. Don't forget, though, you've also got those 2 dingbats on the side there. Can you work out what those are cryptic clues for, what phrases or what things or what places those are cryptic clues for bonus points? Sue and the Donuts have asked for question 12 to be repeated. So, question 12 again. Which actor did Jodie Whittaker's Doctor regenerate into? Last year, of course. And who is due to replace that actor as the new Doctor in Doctor Who following the 60th anniversary special series this year? So the new Doctor and who's replacing that Doctor, because one of them has only taken part for those 60th anniversary specials. Okay, that's question 12 again for you. And we're going to go through the answers very soon. Reminder to you all again, there's the link in the description if you're interested in showing your support for what I do here. That does also include my merch store. Diva knows all about my merch store, I'm sure, in particular. But there's 8 different designs there. One of them's a Christmas design, but there's 8 different designs you can get on with different funny phrases on and things. That's linked there too. Rouge joke, please. What's Rouge joke? Go on then. Put it in the comments. I don't know what it's going to be. But go ahead and read it out. Anyway, yes, click the link in the description and have a look at the merch store. There's 8 different designs there. And if you want to come up with your own design that you want on some merch, by all means let me know, because I can just add them in. Maybe it's something to do with your quiz team, perhaps. You get it on a t-shirt, hoodies, hats, bags, tote bags, whatever. There's all sorts there. It's great. Okay, I'm going to start going through the answers. But yeah, if you've got a joke, you can put it in the comments if you really want to. That's absolutely fine, and we'll read it out. Okay, let's go through the answers. So, question 1. What was the subtitle for the long-awaited Top Gun sequel? Oh, Diva's wearing one of my t-shirts tonight. Yay. Amazing. They're really good quality, actually. I was really impressed with the store that we've chosen. Okay, Rue's joke is, why can't you trust wild cats? I don't know. Why can't you trust wild cats? Better be quick with the answer. I've got a show to do here. Let's see if it's going to make me laugh or not. I'll make you laugh. The answer to question 1 was Top Gun Maverick, by the way. Top Gun Maverick was the name of the Top Gun sequel. For question 2, the TV soap is Neighbours. It's been picked up by Amazon. For question 3, the countries in Eurovision, first and second. First was Ukraine and second was United Kingdom. Question 4, who slapped whom at the 2022 Oscars ceremony? That is, of course, Will Smith and Chris Rock. So why can't you trust wildcats? Because they're always lying. Of course, of course. Very good. I've forgotten about that one. Okay, so Will Smith and Chris Rock for 2 points there, 1 point for each. The British city that's going to be the host of Eurovision 2023 is going to be Liverpool. Question, where do you get to? Question number 6. The Hollywood celebrities that went to through a defamation trial was Johnny Depp and Amber Heard for 2 points. Question 7. ABBA's virtual concert was called ABBA Voyage. Question 8. Headlining Glastonbury was Paul McCartney. Got wheeled out again. Oh dear. Question, he's alright. Respect his legacy, but come on. Question 9. The 2022 Pixar movie Turning Red is about a girl who turns into a red panda. It's very sweet. It's a lovely film. Question 10. Which song by which artist recharted at the UK #1 spot? Thanks to its use in Stranger Things, it is Kate Bush with Running Up That Hill. Thank God it wasn't Wuthering Heights, because that song makes my ears bleed. As anyone who knows me could attest to, a horrible song. I do like Running Up That Hill, though. That is nice. Question 11. Which of the following was the name of a Michael Bay movie starring Jake Gyllenhaal from last year? It was called Ambulance. Do check it out if you haven't seen it. Question 12. Which actor did Jodie Whittaker's Doctor regenerate into, and who's replacing that actor? So she regenerated into David Tennant, who's reprising his role. He's come back as the Doctor somehow. Don't know how that happened. We'll find out, I'm sure. And the new Doctor going forward is Ncuti Gatwa. I won't mark you down for spelling on that one because I can't, but I wouldn't anyway. Ncuti Gatwa is his name. Question 13. Which 3 live-action shows from Lucasfilm premiered on Disney Plus in 2022? They were Obi-Wan Kenobi, long-awaited Obi-Wan Kenobi series, Andor, the Rogue One prequel series, Andor, amazing show. And the third one, not Star Wars related, but still from Lucasfilm, is Willow. I recommend you check them all out, if you haven't already. Question 14. Who played Batman, Alfred and Penguin in 2022's The Batman? Robert Pattinson plays Batman. Colin Farrell is the Penguin. And Andy Serkis plays Alfred. Question 15. The hip-hop performers at the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show that joined Dr. Dre are Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent, yeah, all right, and Kendrick Lamar. Do check it out again if you like any of that music. It's well worth watching. Really entertaining, I thought. They did a good job with it. Okay, those are your answers. I can repeat them again if you need me to say any of them in particular. The answers for the pictures, you've got West Indies for picture 1, because the word West is in a group of D's, West Indies, and Bermuda Triangle. I hope that one was pretty obvious there for most of you. Bermuda Triangle is the second one. So, add up your scores and let's see how many points you've got. I'm just going to change screens so I can see the bigger picture of all your comments. Here we go. Question 15. Yes, I'll repeat the answers again for you before we go through those. That's fine. So, 15, the answers were Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent, and Kendrick Lamar. So there's 5 different points available there, 1 point for each. Okay, Chris says Blackpool Bar Stewards, they've got 22 for us. Andy's asking to repeat 15 again. I'm sure you just heard that I did, but I'm happy to say it again if you need me to. 18 plus 1 for Diva, good score. 15 plus 1 for Catherine and Tony. Luke and Jane, 16 plus 2, good scores there. Donuts have got 20 points. Good efforts there all round so far. Keep those scores coming in. Let's see how else you did. Just the 2 of us have scored a total of 18 points. Vernia's got 22 for the Brazilians there, plus 2. And the 20 plus 2 for Pinky and the Brain. Another good score there. Excellent stuff here. All doing well, of course. Any more comments, any more scores, feel free to put those in the comments. We are going to move on now to the third round of the evening, which is going to be our sport round. 19 plus 2 for Back in Black. Very well done, guys. Good effort there too. I can keep reading out your comments if more of them come in, of course, on the next page. But here we go. Let's move over to round 3. And your pictures for round 3 are right there. So same again, 2 dingbats, 1 point for each there. We are moving on to the sport round 2022 sport questions. Let's see how much you were paying attention here. Okay, 15 questions once again, 1 point for each. Question number 1. Who did the Lionesses beat in the final of football's Euro 2022? Who did England's Lionesses beat in the final of football's Euro 2022? What a moment that was. Absolutely brilliant. I remember it was on a quiz night and I rocked up to host the quiz, and the match was like 10 minutes or so away from finishing, and everybody was just gathered around and cheering. It was brilliant. But who did they beat to win football's Euro 2022? Question 2. Which British city hosted the Commonwealth Games last year? Which British city hosted the Commonwealth Games? Question number 3 now. Question 3 on to men's football for this one. Which nation hosted the men's FIFA World Cup tournament of 2022? Which nation hosted the men's FIFA World Cup tournament? Okay, your next question then is question number 4. Which 3 tennis players won the 4 women's tennis majors throughout 2022? Which 3 tennis players won the 4 women's tennis majors through 2022? You don't need to say who won each one, but name the 3 tennis players, the 3 female tennis players who won across those 4 majors last year. So obviously one of them did manage to win 2 of them. So 1 point for each. Okay. Question number 5 now. Which 2 footballers' wives went to court in what was dubbed the Wagatha Christie trial? 1 point for each. Which 2 footballers' wives went to court in what was dubbed the Wagatha Christie trial? So name the wives for 1 point each, not the footballers. So 2 points available there for that question. Question number 6 now. Question 6. Which nations hosted, won, and were runners-up in the men's 2022 T20 Cricket World Cup? Which nations hosted, won, and were runner-up in the men's 2022 T20 Cricket World Cup? So 3 different countries there. One of them was the host, one of them won it, and then the other one was runner-up, losing, of course, in the final. So 3 points there, 1 point for each. Who hosted, who won, and who was runner-up in the men's 2022 T20 Cricket World Cup? Okay, question 7 now. Question 7. Excuse me. What was the name of the horse that won the 2022 Grand National? What was the name of the horse that won the 2022 Grand National? Question number 8 now. Question 8. How much money did Joe Lycett threaten to shred in protest of David Beckham's multi-million-pound deal to be a World Cup ambassador? How much money did Joe Lycett, the comedian, threaten to shred in protest of David Beckham's multi-million-pound deal to be an ambassador for the 2022 World Cup? How much money? We'll talk a little bit about what actually happened when I go through the answers. It's quite an amusing few days that was, as that was going on. Question number 9 now. Question 9. After becoming the first female jockey to win the Grand National in 2021, Rachel Blackmore became the first female jockey to win which horse race in 2022? Oh, Millie says she's on the bus commute home and keeps losing signal. Oh no. I appreciate you watching along regardless. That's, yeah, I can imagine that can be quite annoying. Glad to know you're still watching when you can, though. Yes, so question 9 again. After becoming the first female jockey to win the Grand National in 2021, Rachel Blackmore then became the first female jockey to win which horse race in 2022? Plenty more multiple point questions coming up. Lots more points available in this round than the previous two. Okay, so question number 10 is for 3 points. Which nations won the Six Nations with a Grand Slam? Which nation won the Triple Crown? And which one won the Calcutta Cup? It's all part of Rugby Union's Six Nations tournament, okay? So which nation won the Six Nations with a Grand Slam, meaning they beat everybody? Which one won the Triple Crown? And which one won the Calcutta Cup? 3 different countries, name them for 1 point each. If you're not sure what the Triple Crown and the Calcutta Cup is, I will explain it, but only once I've announced the answers. Don't want to make it too easy for you. Millie, if you're on the bus on the way home, I hope you get back in time for the game shows round at the end, because I think you'll like the last round in particular. Something that you asked for. Okay, moving on then. Question 11. Which 2 clubs faced each other in the 2022 Men's Champions League final? Which 2 clubs faced each other in the 2022 Champions League final? 1 point for each, of course. Okay, nearly there. We've got 4 more questions to go in this round. And following on from the tennis question at the start, we now say for question 12, which 3 tennis players won the 4 men's tennis majors throughout 2022? So again, just name the 3 tennis players. You don't need to say who won what. But which 3 tennis players won the 4 men's tennis majors through 2022? Okay, the next question then is question 13. Which British city hosted the World Gymnastics Championships for 2022? Which British city hosted the World Gymnastics Championships for 2022? Two more questions to go then. Let me know, of course, which ones you want me to repeat once we get through to the last one. Question 14. Which Scandinavian nation hosted the first 3 stages of the Tour de France? Which Scandinavian nation hosted the first 3 stages of the Tour de France? They tend to change who hosts the start of it each time it's run, or each time the race happens. So yeah, which Scandinavian nation was the host this time? It has started in the UK before as well. It's not too long ago, if memory serves. But this time it was a Scandinavian country. Okay. And question 15, we started with a question about the Lionesses, and we're going to finish with a question about the Lionesses as well. Which 3 European nations joined England's Lionesses in their Euro 2022 group? Which three European nations joined England's Lionesses in their Euro 2022 group? 1 point for each. That's the end of that round, everybody. Let me know if you need any questions repeated. We shall go through the answers and then the team scores again as always before we move on to round number 4, our game shows round. I'll give you a breakdown now just while I give you a little bit of thinking time on this one because there's a lot of multiple point questions there for you to think about. So we're going to do Our Survey Says. I've got one question for Our Survey Says for us to work on, and then I've got 3 catchphrase question rounds or 3 catchphrase pitches for you to work out, which again I've had a lot of fun putting together, so I really hope you have a laugh along with me on those. If you can't remember how we played through them before, I've not really changed the rules of them or anything like that. It's the same principle. I will explain when we get to it though in particular, but we will do Our Survey Says next, just like Family Fortunes, well, as best as we can. She's back home. Millie's back home in a nick of time. Excellent. Get on that Wi-Fi. All right, I'm going to go through the answers then for the sport round. Tracy says, oh dear, as usual, don't think we'll have that many answers to add up for this sport round. It's okay. You know, I don't do sport very often. It's a real Marmite subject for a lot of people, so don't you worry about that. Okay, so question number 1. The Lionesses beat Germany in the final of the Euros. They beat them 2-1 after extra time. Amazing match. But yeah, they beat Germany for 1 point. Question 2. The British city that hosted the Commonwealth Games was Birmingham. Question 3. The nation that hosted the Men's FIFA World Cup tournament was Qatar. Question 4. Which 3 tennis players won the 4 women's tennis majors through 2022? I'm probably going to say at least one of them wrong, so I apologise in advance because I don't follow tennis. But winning the US and the French Open was Iga Swiatek. Winning Wimbledon was Ilana Rybakina. And winning the Australian Open was the Australian Ashley Barty. Question 5. Sorry, that's for 3 points, of course. Question 5. The footballers' wives were Colleen Rooney and Rebecca Vardy. What a ridiculous story that was. Question 6. The nations that hosted, won and were runner-up for the men's 2020 T20 Cricket World Cup. 2022 T20. That's too many T's there. Australia were the hosts. England won it. And Pakistan were the runners-up. Question 7. The name of the the name of the horse that won the Grand National was Noble Yeats. Question 8. Joe Lycett, the comedian, threatened to shred £10,000 if David Beckham didn't step away from being a World Cup ambassador at Qatar, because Beckham was offered millions to do it, which he of course did. And then Joe Lycett live streamed him shredding £10,000, but he then revealed it was cleverly edited, so he didn't actually shred the real money. He did instead donate it to LGBTQ plus charities, because that was the reason he was threatening to do it in the first place, because Beckham was seen as an ambassador for them, and then he went to Qatar. So yes, it was quite an amusing few days on social media. If you didn't see that, again, something you could check out. Question number 9. After becoming the first female jockey to win the Grand National in 2021, Rachel Blackmore became the first female jockey to win another horse race. In 2022, it was the Cheltenham Gold Cup. Question 10. In the Rugby Six Nations tournament, it was France that won it with a Grand Slam. The Triple Crown, which is given to any nation from Wales, Ireland, Scotland and England, if any one of those beats all the other 3, they win what's called the Triple Crown. And Ireland managed to do it. And the Calcutta Cup is given for the winner between Scotland and England whenever they play each other in the Six Nations, and Scotland won it this time. So there you go. For 3 points, France, Ireland and Scotland. Your next question, question 11, was about the Champions League final. That was played between Liverpool and Real Madrid. Real Madrid won it 1-0, I believe. Question 12, which 3 tennis players won the 4 men's tennis majors through 2022? So Novak Djokovic won Wimbledon, Rafa Nadal won the Australian and the French Open, and Carlos Alcaraz won the US Open. Question 13, the British city that hosted the World Gymnastics Championships for last year was Liverpool. Question 14, the Scandinavian nation that hosted the first 3 stages of the Tour de France was Denmark. And then finally, joining England's Lionesses in the group stages of their Euro 2022 tournament were Austria, Norway and Northern Ireland, whom they all beat, of course. So there you go, final 3 points for question 15. The answers for the dingbats: number 1 is all hands on deck, and number 2 is once bitten, twice shy. So bonus points there. Tally up your scores and let's see how many you did. And as always, we celebrate with those who do well and we commiserate with those who don't do so well, but it is just for fun. So don't feel too hard done by if you didn't do well in that sport round in particular. We'll have some fun in a moment with the Our Survey Says round, and then 3 catchphrase questions or pitches coming up as well. Okay, let's see what those scores are then in the comments. Diva says, oh, hang on, my wife says we're ready for round 4. Yeah, don't worry about it. Diva says 9. Was that 9 plus 2? Let me just go back. 9 plus 2 for Diva. Well done. Yeah, Diva's also sympathising with Tracy there, having a similar problem. Vernia says 8 plus 2 for the Brazilians, 14 plus 2 for Back in Black. The Donuts have got 20 points again. Very well done there. Just the 2 of us managed to score 12 with a few guesses and the 2 bonus points. Well done there, Tracy. And just the 2 of us. Pinky and the Brain have got 16 plus 2 plus 1 for, of course, the Abby and Rue bonus. If you haven't added that on yet, please do so now and give yourself a bonus point for those 3 people, 3 teams who got that. And Catherine says 11 plus 2. Woohoo! Good, we got into double figures for a sports round. Yes, absolutely. Well done. Good stuff. Any more for any more? Let me know in the comments. We are going to move on now, most excitingly, to the first of our 2 game show rounds, and that first one is Our Survey Says. Okay, so again, woohoo, not good. Yes, woohoo. I thought that's what you meant, Catherine. No problem. So, for the benefit of those who haven't played along before, I'm about to reveal a question that's come from Family Fortunes. It's a survey question. You need to tell me what you think the top answers were from this survey. This you can put in the comments. I'm going to be reading directly from your comments, and then I'll pick and choose the ones I see, and whether or not you get points for them or not, we'll see how high up they are. Whoever gets the top answers can obviously consider themselves getting more points. Doesn't really matter. Again, this is just for fun and to see if you collectively can work out what you think all these answers are in our Family Fortunes game. Of course, if you give me an answer and it's not there, you will hear that noise and see that red X on screen. And the rest of them, let's see how you go. So, your question is, name something associated with New Year's. In keeping with the theme, Millie says she's missed lots of questions tonight, but some of the ones I did here I got right. Excellent, that's all right. Well, you can always skip back and watch bits again once this is posted if you wanted to. So, let's see your guesses in the comments then, please, everybody. What do you think could be something associated with New Year's? I'm just going to throw this out there. Ruben, my son, was watching this come together earlier on, and he guessed 5 of the 6 on his own. So I'm expecting you to get these pretty quickly, okay? No pressure. But yeah, he smashed it. Right, so we've got guesses coming in. Excellent. Tracy and Gabby have said fireworks. Andy said resolutions, New Year's resolutions. Party, says Diva. Old Lang Syne, says Catherine and Tony. Hogmanay, says Sue. Party, says Millie. Okay, yeah, everybody just have one guess for now, and then I'll rattle off which ones are in there and which ones aren't. Okay? First and foremost, Sue and the Donuts have gone with Hogmanay. It's not there, I'm afraid. Hogmanay is not there. I can see that... oh, Abby's gone with fireworks as well. Thank you for that. Chris has gone with Big Ben. Big Ben? It's not there either, I'm afraid. No, not Big Ben. All right, let's see some of the answers that are there. So we have got Andy saying resolutions. Now, let's see. Is resolutions there? Resolutions is number 6 on the list. Very good. Diva's gone with party. Millie's gone with party as well. I mean, there are parties on New Year's Eve, but is it one of our top 6 answers? It is there at number 4. It's there at number 4. Right, let's see what else we've got here then. Vernia says champagne. That's the Brazilian's guess. Champagne. Is champagne there, I wonder? Let's have a look. Champagne, drinking, drinks in general. Yes, I'll give you that one. Drinks is there. That's at number 5. Okay, what have we got now? Let's look at some of the other ones. Okay, Catherine and Tony have gone with Old Lang Syne. Of course, everybody sings Old Lang Syne, don't they, for New Year's? Or lots of people do. And it's number 3. Number 3 on the list, Old Lang Syne. Now, we get into the top 2. Fireworks, says Tracy, Gabby, and Abby as well, my Abby. She says fireworks too. Is it the top answer? Is it the second answer? Let's have a look. It is the top answer. Very well done. Which means we're still looking, though, for number 2 on the list. What could it be, I wonder? What else happens at New Year's? Have a guess now in the comments. Everybody's welcome. You're all back in the game, so to speak. Have a guess now. What could that missing answer be? Let's see if you collectively work out what that answer is. The one that Ruben didn't get right, which I could totally understand, was Old Lang Syne. That's fine. No shame there at all, because he smashed it with the others. Although he did get drinks because they drank a lot of Schlur on New Year's when they stayed up with us till midnight. Which, again, is fair enough. It's not going to be anything else alcoholic, is it? First foot, Tracy says. First foot? It's not there. It's not there, and I'm not aware of what that could mean either. So I might be learning something new here as well. First foot is not there. Kisses. Abby and Mummy say kisses. Is that going to be our second one? Of course you do when it comes to New Year's. It's not there. It's not on the list. What else happens? Something pretty much everybody does that's seen in the new year. Oh, first footing. Okay, all right. So Chris was going to say first footing as well. Now you know it's not there. What else could it be? It's something that we all do in the build-up to the big moment. I'm giving you more clues now. Late night. Tracy says the first person to come in your house is first footing. Do you know, I have never heard that before. Never. Okay. Jew says eat. I mean, you do, but no. But yeah, Ruth says countdown. And yes, now Tracy and Sue and Millie. Yeah, everybody's saying it now. Is number 2 countdown? Yeah, there's a countdown. Of course it is. Well done. You got there in the end. You have worked out our survey says questions. Bonus points all round. Really good effort there, guys. So, something associated with New Year's drinks. We have fireworks, countdown, Old Lang Syne, a party, drinks and resolutions. Andy says, I knew somebody would. Countdown, funny time to play a word game. That, you know, I put it, when I filled in the answers in these boxes, I just put countdown, and I thought, if I leave it as that, somebody's going to make a joke about the show countdown. I know, I'll put a countdown instead. No, it didn't stop it, did it? I appreciate it though. Thank you for that. Very good. All right, we're now going to move on to our catchphrase game. So, for catchphrase then, another new setup, but basically it's the same. If you watched this before, if you remember the shows last year, we have got 3 different pictures to go through here, hidden behind these questions. Chris says first footers have to bring coal, money, and bread, so you won't be poor, hungry, or cold throughout the year. Oh, I like that. Why has nobody ever done that for us? I mean, not that we need coal specifically, but you know, money and bread would always be all right. Anyway, thank you for explaining that. I honestly, I've never heard that before. I'm going to insist on it now for everybody that comes round. You're not coming in unless you've got money or bread to give us. Amazing. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to ask another question. This is going to be random trivia stuff, again, from last year. And if you guess it correctly in the comments, I'm going to spin the wheel and that will choose the number on the screen which is revealed for you. You then get to have first guess at what you think the image is behind the screen. Okay? We've got 3 if we've got time to do it. Okay? And we've got 10 minutes. So let's make a start. Guess in the comments. Which athlete admitted being trafficked into England aged 9 years old last year? Olympic standard, amazing athlete, but admitted being trafficked into England aged 9 years old. Have a guess in the comments. Tracy says, had to Google it. First footing is a Scottish and a northern thing. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I did wonder. Yeah, it's good to know though. Honestly, never heard that before. Right, okay, lots of people saying Mo Farah. You're absolutely right. Well done. It is Mo Farah. The first person was Catherine. Well done. Your name appears first in my comments. Let's spin the wheel and see which number we're going to be revealing for you. And you get first guess in the comments as to what on earth this could be. I'll tell you now, it's a famous picture from last year. Number 8 we are removing. Have a guess at what you think this is. What could that be? Something that was shared and popular last year. What could it be? Catherine, you get first guess. I'm going to move on to another question, and then anybody else can have a guess at any point from then on until we get to the next correct answer given. Any ideas? Let me know as we move on to the next question. Oh, Tracy thinks she knows it already. Okay, all right. Well, we'll just give it another minute. Maybe let's let us reveal a few more. I know what it is. I know my kids know it. I know my wife knows it. This is so funny. Okay, we're gonna do. No, Catherine says she doesn't know. All right, okay. Tracy, you got in the comments first. Then, if you want to say what it is. I've got 2 more pictures, so I don't mind doing this one quickly. Tracy, tell us in the comments, what is this picture of? I know my family knew it. I'm going to start revealing it now anyway. It's a space chorizo, Gabby says as well. Yeah, I'm sure Tracy was going to say the same thing. I'll wait for the comments to come in anyway. But yeah, let's go through the pictures. We'll reveal it as we go. Basically, when the James Webb Space Telescope started showing images, scientists also shared them on social media. And essentially, a scientist shared this one saying it was like Mars or something. It's saying it was a random planet out there. And of course, everybody went mad thinking how incredible this picture was. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It is actually a slice of chorizo. So there we go. Let's just go back to the comments then. Yeah, space chorizo. It's the picture they said was a planet, but it's actually salami. Yeah, any kind of sausage of some description. Yeah. Catherine remembers now, yes. So well done. Everybody that knew that one, give yourself a bonus point, I think. Right, let's cover the board back up. And now we're going to go on to our next one. Let me just load that up. Okay, here we go. Same again. Here we go with another question. Answer in the comments. Some UK cinemas banned youngsters from wearing what to the new Minions movie? Guess in the comments. We've got a new wheel now, then all the numbers should be back, which they're not. Let me just refresh that, I think. There we go. Oh, Catherine's in there again with Suits. Let's have a look. Who else has said Suits? Yes, Sue said Suits and Gabby said Suits. That's right. Teenagers were banned from wearing suits as to the cinemas to see the new Minions movie. There's a whole story behind it. But Catherine, you were first again in my comments. Very well done. Here we go. Let's see what number we're removing for you this time. Number 2. Okay, here we go. Number 2. And that's being removed now. Okay, now for this one, I must insist that my family don't have a guess because I know, Chrissy, at least you know what this one is. So don't spoil it in the comments for this one, okay? Have a guess. See if you know what you think this could be. What's happening in this picture specifically? Not necessarily who is in it, but what's this event, so to speak, that's happening in this picture? Any ideas? No? Nope, sorry. Okay, here we go. Another question. You're all back in play then. Question number 3. Name the only minister to be sacked by Boris Johnson before he stepped down. Name the only minister to be sacked by Boris Johnson before he stepped down. Obviously when Boris was still Prime Minister. Who was the only minister that was sacked by Boris before he stepped down? Oh. We have a guess already from Gabby. Let's see if anybody gets this question correct as well, though. Now I've asked it as well, before we see if that was, in fact, the correct answer. Yes, well done. Yep, it is Michael Gove. Excellent stuff. Right. We have, though, also got a guess there from Gabby. Is it Harry Styles spitting? Let's have a quick look and see if that's the correct answer. Oh, it is. Harry Styles spat on Chris Pine. Or that's what it appears to be. Let's have a look and see. Here we go. Revealing those squares now. Oh my goodness. There we go. Yeah, Michael Gove was the correct answer, but this is it. This was what we were looking for here, the event from last year. Yeah, Harry Styles spits on Chris Pine, and he's like, not happy. Allegedly spitting, exactly, Gabby. If you watch it, it really does look like that. I'm sure they just played it off as nothing. But that is genuinely the reason for that image there. There you go. Okay. Last one then. This is the last one. Let's bring the whole wheel back, actually. There we go. No, it's not there, is it? Why is it not there? Alright, I'm just going to load up the wheel again. There we go. Right. All the numbers are back in play. We've got another question to go through here. Or several questions. I wonder if you're going to get this as quickly as you got the other ones. I think this one might be a bit trickier. Oh dear. Didn't want to do that, did I? Wrong one. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay, alright. I'll pretend you didn't see that and we'll start asking a couple of questions. Which social media platform is the fastest growing news source for UK adults? Oops. Yeah, I still think that's so funny though, allegedly spitting. It's like, just get on with it, guys, you know? Okay, which social media platform is the fastest growing news source for adults? see if you can guess the last couple of questions. We'll get the picture out there, and then we'll move on. Who's got a clue about that one, I wonder? Juice says TikTok. That is correct. Immediately in there with the correct answer. This picture's so funny. I know you put. I pressed the wrong thing there, but still, let's have a bit of fun with it all the same, and answer a few more questions. Well done, Tracy. Yes, you said TikTok as well. It is correct. Picture number 8, or slide number 8. Here we go. Right, I'm going to. Yeah, we're going to remove that one. I'll ask you another question. Can I repeat it, please? It was which social media platform is the fastest growing news source for UK adults? That was that question, and it is TikTok. So your next question then is, I know some of you have seen what the answer is already, so we're just going to do a few more of these, okay? Which UK supermarket launched its 2022 Christmas campaign in July? Which UK supermarket launched its 2022 Christmas campaign in July? Have a guess at what you think that could be. Which UK supermarket chain was launched in July? Name that supermarket chain. Let's see who can get it right first. There's only a few to choose from. Who could it be? Catherine says Tesco. Tracy says Asda. Let's check some of the other comments that are coming in. Gabby says Tesco as well. Tesco again. Okay, yes. Tesco is the correct answer. Very well done. Which one are we taking down now? It's going to be number 2. Okay, there we go. Number 2 is gone. M&D's? No, not M&D's. It was Tesco. Next question then is, which company became the first in the world to be valued at more than $3 trillion? Which company became the first in the world to be valued at more than $3 trillion? Can't see anybody buying that out anytime soon. $3 trillion. Which company is that? Let's go back to the comments. Some of you may already be watching this quiz on a device made by that company. Juice says Halloween outfit, can't remember the actress. Yes. See, not everybody saw the picture flag up, or the answer flag up, so that's fine. Meta, no. That is incorrect. It's not Meta, which is the new name for the owning company of Facebook. For those who don't know, no, it's not Meta. Think about devices you could be watching this quiz on. You tend to be either one or the other when it comes to this. Which company is now valued at $3 trillion? Apple, Gabby says. Apple is the correct answer. Very well done. Here we go. Let's take this down then. Your next number is number 7. Number 7 doesn't really help much. Mind you, if you saw the face, it doesn't really help much either. Who is this person, though? Who is this person? They are, as Ju says, it is a Halloween outfit with an actress in it. But who is that actress? Dressed as a worm? Yes, they are dressed as a worm. We'll do one more question, then I'll just reveal it, because it's going to be difficult to know who saw the answer flag up and who didn't. Okay, last one then. Which phrase links Boris Johnson with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Which phrase links Boris Johnson with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Heidi Klum, the Queen of Halloween. Yeah. Please do put the guesses to that question as well in the comments. So what phrase links Boris Johnson with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Get those comments in there. Let's see if any of you can work out what that phrase is. I don't mind how you spell it, don't you worry. And yes, Tracy's got it. It is Hasta la Vista, baby, because he said that in his last speech as Prime Minister in the House of Commons. Ridiculous. Right, I'm going to take away picture number 3, or square number 3. And let's take away the rest of the pictures, because yes, it is Heidi Klum in a Halloween outfit, as some of you saw. Sorry about that. Let's bring away the other squares now. As I've said to Chrissy about this, it looks like a Doctor Who monster. Look at that. So that's Heidi Klum in a worm outfit. That's her Halloween outfit. She really outdoes herself every year. It's insane. But there we go. That's the end of another quiz. We're back officially. Okay, so thank you all for watching, everybody. Don't forget, before you go, please give a like on the video, or all those kind of positive emoji reactions. Obviously really helps me out. And make sure you share this content with your friends and family as well. Let's get more people watching next week if we can. And you can click the link as well in the description. Find all the places to support me and the things I do here. It's much appreciated. Follow me on TikTok as well, please. I am posting more content there. And also keep an eye out for Lima. If you're not in the top fan group on Facebook, that's where I post everything first. So please do get involved there. You can request to join the group, no problem. I know some of you haven't. And if you're a Patreon, there's at least one of you, I won't say who here because I'm sure it's a mistake. There's at least one of you whose Patreon payment was declined, because since our last Patreon quiz, which was like weeks and months ago, your card details have expired and your new card details need to go onto the website. So just double check, because I don't want you to miss out on that first Patreon quiz at the end of the month. So you've got a couple of weeks to sort it out. But yeah, just double check that for me. Go on to patreon.com, make sure the payment happened. And if you're not sure, you can always message me if I haven't confirmed with you already. Okay, that's it. Let's go through just some last little comments there. Hope you all enjoyed it. It is, yes, Catherine, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and it is great to be back. Lovely to see you all joining in too. And I will see you all same time next time for more of the same fun. Cheers. Good night.
Bye!